Hey friends, it's cold this morning. That's why I have this hoodie drawn over my head. I I had a thought come up a few days ago, and it has stayed with me. It has kept reminding me of it because it is related to this sort of like little bit of tension that I have in my back that's still working itself out, and that I spoke about this a week or two ago. Had a piano lesson with Madeline in which she really helped me to kind of hear the music, hear the piano on a whole new level, and the emotion of that, the sort of like felt sense, bodily vibration, bodily resonance journey of that was really powerful. And I stood up from that lesson, and I didn't even notice that the tension had gone from my back. This is a long-standing issue, and I'm kind of deliberately stretching into it continuously. It's like if I don't stretch it, it'll kind of subside, but it's still there. So I'm sort of almost on purpose, not aggravating it, but keeping it moving rather than letting it sort of like tighten up again and go away. But one of the effects of having this in my body is that if and as I get tired, generally towards the end of the day, everything feels more like a burden. Everything feels heavier. And not just physical things, obviously. The whole like living of life begins to feel heavier. And it's interesting because Dr. John Sarno, who I first came across, I think like right when I was first starting out with this post, he wrote a book called Healing Back Pain, I think. And his case is basically his theory, but his practice really is based around the idea that back pain is essentially emotional. It's essentially emotionally induced. Not all back pain, but the vast majority of it, and that it happens during the years of responsibility, as he calls them, the kind of prime of your life years when you're supporting family, working a job, have lots of responsibilities, and that the burden of those responsibilities in various ways manifests through people in of course all kinds of different ways, but that much of back pain can be attributed to that. So when I have the physical experience of kind of having something going on in my back, and then finding myself, at the end of a long day, at the end of long days, feeling just wiped out, and just carrying my body is heavy. I'm going, oh, think you might be onto something, Mr. John Sarno. And so I've been kind of sitting with that and working with that, and physically working with that and giving my body what it needs. It's not debilitating. It's just kind of there, and over the course of a day, it kind of becomes more of a thing. But the interesting thing is, there's two interesting things about it. One, it feels like there's something unraveling. It feels like a long-standing, deep-seated issue that is finally starting to open, and there's some tension that I've had in this area of my body and torso and back for a long time but it's been essentially symptom free. I don't feel it. So it wasn't until I really started stretching into the area that I started feeling it and going, oh, wait a minute, there's something here. This is not just happening randomly. It's not something that came from the outside or came out of nowhere and afflicted me. This is something that I'm kind of like digging into and churning up the underlying tensions in my body. So on that level, I also feel, I feel it at the piano. I feel when I release at the piano, especially when I play from a really relaxed space, sometimes this tension becomes even more prominent in my awareness, because it's like I'm relaxing and assuming a posture of freedom, physical freedom, and as Madeline talks about, a powerful posture, a posture of power, rootedness, verticality, and strength is a posture of sensitivity and receptivity. So as I enter into that posture, any impediment like this kind of becomes more evident. My awareness notices it, as opposed to if I'm in a slumped or kind of compressed posture, I might not even notice, So that's one interesting aspect of what's going on. The other one is, I was sitting in meditation a few days ago, and this is kind of where this whole post started. I was sitting in meditation a few days ago and feeling the sense of burden that I spoke about a minute ago, that things are heavy to carry. Just a kind of sense of certain things in life requiring extra effort. But then in that experience, in that moment of meditation, it just flashed through my awareness. It was like, oh my God, all of these burdens, what I'm perceiving as burdens, are exactly what I would choose to be carrying in my life. In other words, it's like, these aren't my burdens. This is my life. This is the life I've chosen. And it was just an interesting perspective shift, because all of us, I mean, maybe not all of us, but many of us have moments when just the responsibilities of life feel like a burden. They feel like something we have to carry, something that's, we maybe wish we didn't have to, maybe wish we had more freedom, didn't have to do this right now, or whatever it is. And I'm not immune to those sentiments. I have them too. But I think because I was in a space of meditation and stillness and sort of like real perspective on both the things that were in my awareness and the emotional kind of responses I was having internally around them, I could kind of put all that just a step or two away from myself and regard it. My daughter's waking up. I was therefore able to see, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I would have chosen for myself. I would not have anything. I wouldn't put any of them down. I wouldn't change anything. I'll turn this off. She's actually been up for a while. So that was just an interesting sensation to be struck by, because it's real easy to feel, oh, I've got to do this, I've gotta, whatever our and let's just put the caveat in there. This is in the context of of my life that is just abundant and rich and unbelievably satisfying and fulfilling and inspiring. There's not a complaint about anything I have to carry. It's just a recognition, of my mind's tendency to, still get attached to things and still want to grab and hold on to certain things and repel others. And the fact that even those things that I'm repelling, when I really sit back and listen and pay attention and get still, I can recognize very quickly that I've asked for them. I don't actually want to repel them. I actually want to attract them. Everything in my life is something that I want to hold, and something that I've chosen to carry, something that I'm willingly carrying. And it's really only in the mind, it's really only in the sort of like small frame of reference point of view that any of it feels burdensome. From the larger frame of reference point of view, it's all a gift. It's all evolution. It's all the content that I require in order to evolve. It's all for me. It's all a gift. So it's a nice thing to have show up. And it's a great way to, it's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. It's a nice way to come to a gratitude about everything in my life, in our lives. So, thanks for watching, folks. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.